Welcome to Lrtn Live. I'm your host, McGarris Jackson, and today at the LRTN studios, we have the beautiful Miss AJAVON, who is running for Clerk of Peace in Newcastle County, Delaware. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Miguel. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Well, welcome to LRTN. We'd like to welcome you, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So, can you please tell our viewers exactly a little bit more about yourself?
Okay, thank you. My name is AJAVON. For most people call me Aja. I'm originally from Monrovia, Liberia. I was born in Caldwell, Montserrat County. I came here in the early 80s because we had our first coup d'etat in Liberia in 1980. So I came in 81, early part of 81 to join my mother. And I've been here ever since. I have three children, three adult children, 27, 25, and 8 and 19. Oh, he'll kill me if I tell him. Yes, my oldest is my daughter. She lives in Maryland, and she builds houses. She's a supervisor at a builder plant. I can't know, one of these large builders. My son, my middle child, is a professional basketball player and an entrepreneur, and my baby is in the U.S. Navy. Yes. I am a professor. I teach at Wilmington University. I do lectures at other universities throughout the country. And I own a consulting practice. It's called AJAVON's Consulting Group. We focuses on mediation practices, businesses, starting new businesses for people who are trying to get into starting their business. We do business licenses, register the business, get their business identification card, and so forth. And I also founded a nonprofit called Every Man Counts, Better Dads, Better Lives, which help fathers who are coming out of prison, single fathers, and fathers who are not in prison, who are divorced or just find themselves single with their children. We help them navigate the family court system. We help them with job readiness skills, entrepreneurial skills. We also do community group events where we do a barbershop conversation every month. And we do a tea party once a year where we have fathers from all over to bring their little girls. We have a tea party. We take them fishing. So there's a lot of activities we do in the community, and we've been doing that now since 2014. That's a little bit about me.
So you've been around for a while.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us exactly what position are you running for?
I am running for Clerk of the Peace in Newcastle County. Now, the Clerk of the Peace oversees, they administer weddings at the offices. So, for instance, if you're not having a big wedding, you can come to the office and we will marry you. We also issue marriage licenses and marriage certificates. That office in Newcastle County, we issue name kit changes for people who wants to change their name. The office is pretty unique. I like it. I think it's a really unique. It's a really unique office.
Can you tell us what would be your best part about becoming a clerk of peace if you do become a clerk of peace?
Wow. There's so many best parts of it. I really like the idea of becoming the clerk of the peace. Just the idea that you're able to administer weddings for people who are trying to become an intact family. As a mediator, if you know what mediators do, we usually mediate cases for divorced families or families who are going through adversarial moments where they're not agreeing on things, and we bring them together to try and find a common ground or reach a resolution. Being the clerk of the peace is like the flip side of that, where I'm bringing unity to people, bringing happiness and joy through marriage, which is something that I'm really excited about and really excited to do. I'm looking forward to when I win, looking forward to working in the office with the people that work there currently, and just continuing the legacy of the previous clerk of the peace. So.
And what makes you qualified for the position of clerk of peace?
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about my qualifications. And if that, I guess the people who are viewing this will actually be the judge of my qualifications.
Okay.
I have a master's in public administration, and I teach at the university. I teach conflict resolution, intro to conflict management, and intro to mediation skills. I'm also a court-appointed mediator for both New Jersey and Delaware. I have a paralegal certificate. I don't exercise that as much as I should, but owning a consulting practice that focuses on mediation and arbitration and contract negotiations, that paralegal certificate does come in handy once in a while as far as putting stuff in perspective on the legal term. But my qualifications, I'm a people person and I like dealing with the community. I have been in the community for many years. I do a lot of things in the community. I've headed several programs and that has been very successful throughout the community. So as far as being qualified for the position, I feel that I am qualified because of my extensive leadership background, being a owner of her own company, being on several boards throughout the state of Delaware and also internationally. So one thing that any office needs is strong leadership, and I think I possess that, and I can bring that to the office. So that enhances on my qualifications.
So it's safe to say that you're qualified to be a boss.
Yes.
Now, just like trying to switch gears here, more into like your personal life. As a librarian, I'm sure that you have numerous of different projects going on. What projects do you have that contributes to the better good of librarians here in America and abroad?
Oh wow, that's a great question. We do, and I say we because I like to collaborate with a lot of people. That's where my community involvement comes in. In Delaware, we have the old timer football team. So every year I partner with the coordinator, Mr. Kessley, to give out backpacks to the community. So I have been doing that now since 2015. We give out backpacks to the children who are going back to schools. It alleviates the cost from the parents, and we do that in the Liberian community. Every year also I go back to Liberia, except for this year because of COVID, and I take supplies to people who are in need. I take book bags, school supplies, underwear, just necessities that we need there. And I also do a talk. So last year we did some stuff for Redemption Hospital. Every year I pick a project and I do it in Liberia. Last year we did Redemption Hospital, and one of my friends in Delaware and I, we had raised money and we donated when we took supplies. We shipped supplies to Redemption Hospital for newborn babies. Last year she took backpacks to Liberia and she distributed out to the community. So there's a lot of things that we do. I also have a domestic violence talk when I go to Liberia to bring awareness to domestic violence. And people in other countries, when they think about Africa, they look at Africa, they think domestic violence is synonymous with Africans, which is not true. We don't have every African man hitting people, okay?
We don't.
And this is my passion because I am a survivor of domestic violence. So I bring that to forefront. I mean, it took me a long time to even accept and speak on that. So that's why I go home and I talk about it and bring awareness to people to understand, help them understand that domestic violence is not only physical, it's emotional, it's psychological. There's a lot of things. And some of the women that I spoke with told me, like, how would I know my husband loved me if he didn't hit me? I mean, these are women who I was very shocked. We had a program at CWA, and we had many people from the communities, children from schools that came, and I invited convent, because I went to convent, St. Teresa's Convent. So all the schools were there, and those are the questions that came up. In our culture, this is one woman, in my culture, if your husband doesn't chastise you, he doesn't love you. So how do you relate to someone like that? How do you tell them, look, I understand where you're coming from. I hear you because it's what your mother has taught you. This is what was taught to your mother from her mother. But let's look at the perspective. You have a daughter. Would you want your daughter to be treated like this? Do you think this is actual love if he hits on you? If he takes your money when you come from the marketplace and been selling all day and take your money from you and then go and spend his money with his girlfriend? Do you think that's love? But it's about educating our community. So when I go home, yes, it's a challenge. But I tell them, I said, look at me. I have degrees. I'm a professor. I teach. I'm a public speaker. But I too was a victim of domestic violence. And I went through it. It was very shameful, very embarrassing. But the fact of the matter is, we dealt with it. I've gone through counseling. And now I can tell you, if I can do it, you can do it.
That's so inspiring, and it actually adds more to you. I mean, from the surface, people might, see the appearance of the politician, but to actually know that you are a survivor of something that many women face is like inspiring and beautiful at the same time.
Thank you.
In reference to having your domestic talk, right now in Africa, there's like the new trend, I guess. I wouldn't call it a trend, but right now they're dealing with the whole issue and topic of rape.
Mm.
Any takes on that?
It breaks my heart to see that, especially in Liberia, because I can only speak to Liberia because that's where I'm from and that's where my passion lies. That I don't see a lot of involvement from the government to combat this monster that's going on in my country. Rape is something that we need to take seriously. And it's not only rape of adults, it's rape of children, which is something that's disheartening, and it's really not playing good in my heart. I would encourage the government and the people in social services to really try to vet a lot of things, bring programs, bring resources to communities so people can understand and how to report these things. Because right now, many of these people who are victimized through the rape crisis cannot go to the police and report that because they feel that the police is not going to do anything. I mean, I was home not last year, but a couple of years ago, and there was a huge case that took place where a young girl at 9 years old was raped and sodomized. And that broke my heart. And I kept asking, what are the people doing to rectify the wrong? And it's sad. I mean, rape is everywhere. It's here in this country. But however, we have resources here. We have outreach organization that people can actually go to and talk to groups. But in Liberia, we don't have those things. So I really would like to encourage the community, encourage the government to form organizations that's going to be able to help victims, and prosecute the perpetrators to the fullest, and not let them go, regardless of their stature in the country.
Definitely. Hopefully we have one of our politicians that are on here. Hopefully they're watching this video and seeing and taking from it, So just to switch back gears a little bit back into who the beautiful AJAVON is. What actually catapulted you into wanting to come into this line of work?
Ooh, another good question. I like your questions. In 2012, well, let's go back to 2010. Let's go back a little bit further. In 2008, I had applied for a position. Did not know that you had to be a citizen to apply for that position. Did the interview, everything. Felt that I made the cut, which I did, but I was denied the position because I was not a citizen. So, and at the time I worked at family court and I was the mediator, and I had presented that to a couple of judges, just talking in passing. And one of them said, it's a shame you're such a qualified individual and so, experienced. It's a shame that you've missed your opportunity. What can we do to help? And I said, well, I'm not a citizen, so I didn't get this position. He said, well, you can't vote. I said, no, I've never voted. I'm not a citizen, so therefore I cannot vote. In 2009, unbeknownst to me, I came to my office. There was a card on my desk, and I opened the card, and in the card was $745 money order. And on the envelope On the card, it said, file for your citizenship. You don't want to miss this opportunity again.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not going to call any names, but I thank the family court judges. And they know who they are. So I filed for my citizenship. I became a citizen in 2010. I was eligible to vote for the first time, and I voted for the first African American president, Barack Obama. Barack Obama catapulted me into politics. When I saw what he did, and I saw the community service work that he is a strong activist. Based on what he did, I started being more involved in the community. Seeing that he would walk streets, signing people up for services, went through shoes, and he was an attorney. And he could have done any job. He could have worked for the largest law firm in Chicago, made millions and millions of dollars and be very successful. But he poured his energy and his strength into the community. And that really resonated with me. So I started doing the same thing. And I was blessed in 2014 when Obama did the My Brother's Keeper and it came to Wilmington, Delaware. I was asked by the then mayor of Wilmington, Delaware, to be part of the My Brother's Keeper and to do the piece on restorative justice.
Oh, wow.
So talk about pay it forward, right? I mean, Obama didn't know who I was, but it was just the idea that this man had catapulted my political career, my community service activities, and now I'm writing the restorative justice piece for the city of Wilmington. So, I mean, you can't get any better than that, right?
No.
So, I mean, with that being said, I follow his trend. I followed his political career. In 2018, I ran for the first time. I ran for State Representative District 5. We had a ball running for that. Oh my God. I mean, I'm telling you, my sister and I, we didn't have a campaign manager. We didn't have none of that. I think we raised like $9,000 or $6,000, don't quote me. But she was my campaign manager. We did it together. And we came in second. And let me tell you something, that was wonderful. Being the African woman from the continent to run for that seat. And it was invigorating because it was just great because I met so many new people in the community. And it was funny because when I met people, we were mostly talking about what I did as a community leader and a community activist than what I was doing as a politician. So I was helping more people on that spectrum than as a politician, but it was great. So now I'm running 2020. I'm running for Clerk of the Peace. And September 15th, the voters are going to make that decision whether I will be the one to sit in that seat on September 16th or not. So,
see how things come to full circle, fruition at full circle. Just one more last question before we close. If won the position, or as I should say, when she wins the position of Clerk of Peace, endorsing from here, what changes do you plan to bring about in the office?
Wow, another great question. I like you. Changes, I really wouldn't change too much. I would enhance what they have. Like I stated earlier, the previous Clerk of the Peace have done great things for the office. I would like to continue that, but I would also like to bring in more and have the office be more involved in the community as far as educating the community on what the office does, because a lot of people really didn't know what Clerk of the Peace is. However, they got their marriage license from there, but it really didn't dawn on them that it is an elected position. You know, there's other things that, you know, I would like to enhance on, maybe bring changes. Maybe it could be a good change, but, you know, just to bring in more revenue into the office through, you know, by getting rid of some of the third-party charges that come through, you know, changing the venue of where we have the weddings, not only have it at the office, but have it at a remote location at times, or maybe even do a weekend wedding. I don't know, but when I get in there, I would definitely look at those things and revisit it. But those are some of the things I would love to enhance on and actually enhance or change when I get in there.
Well, we know here at Lrtn that you can make the change possible.
Yes.
Please remember to go out if you are in Newcastle, Delaware County. Please remember, or Newcastle County of Delaware.
Yep.
Please remember to go out and vote on September 15th for Ms. AJAVON for the Clerk of Peace. I mean, it's going to be something historic, I would say, especially for Liberians here in America. That would be historic. So definitely go out, support, and yeah.
So one thing I must say, we are looking for volunteers. We're looking for volunteers for Tuesday, September 15th. So if you are in Delaware, Newcastle County, or Kent, or Sussex, we're looking for people to be at the polls from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And also, we're looking for phone callers, people who can make phone calls this weekend and the day of. So it's GOTV, get out and vote. We're asking people to please volunteer. You can go on our website at www.ajavon.com, www.ajavon.com. Please go on our website, follow me on Facebook and Instagram, like our pages, and call me. If you have to call me, 302-408-0065, 302-408-0065. I look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday, September 15th. Let's make history. Clerk of the Peace, Newcastle County, Delaware.